Hi, I'm Brian Burton, Chief Investment Officer here at Ballast. Just coming to you today to talk a little bit about markets, kind of what we've seen so far year to date and what we're looking forward to in the back half of this year. So it's been a wild ride, a lot of volatility early in the year. We had the steep sell-off in April on tariff fears that was followed by a really sharp bounce. In fact, we're up 25% now off the April low, bringing markets to an all-time high. The rally has really been fueled by a couple of things. Corporate earnings, number one, have been pretty strong in aggregate, particularly in AI infrastructure and cloud computing, which areas have really far exceeded expectations and helped move markets higher. Number two, it's really this growing optimism around Federal Reserve rate cuts. Markets are now pricing in 2 to 3 rate cuts by the end of the year, with that cycle kicking off maybe even as early as September. Looking ahead to the balance this year, we see 3 major themes that we think will have the biggest impact on market movements for the remainder of this year. Number one is the Fed meeting that's taking place in Jackson Hole at the end of August. We're looking for some clarity on monetary policy. Will we see an acceleration in easing? Will we see a renewed hawkishness from the Fed? What the outcome of that will likely have an impact on markets. Number two is just geopolitical tensions that remain elevated around the world. There's a couple hot spots where hopefully we see de-escalation, but if we see escalation in those areas, likely have downward pressure on markets. And then number three is shift in U.S. trade policy. Will we see a slowdown in economic growth that's forecasted? Will we see an uptick in inflation and prices that's also forecasted? We haven't seen those things really to this point in any meaningful way. But if we do start to see that and any type of movement towards stagflation would be definitely negative for markets. So to this point, it's been a great year for investors. Those that have remained diligent, stuck to their plan, remained invested through the volatility, have been rewarded handsomely.